what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. This is the Mental Breakdown. I'm your host, Joey Velez. Happy Wednesday, Hump Day. Hey, halfway through the week, keep going strong. Only a couple days left until the weekend. One thing I realized that I was grateful for, um, I think, is really just having. I want to say the art of connection. You know what I mean by that is, if there's something I need, usually I have a friend that has a resource available for me. So right now I'm in the process of potentially buying a house, so going to my friends who are in the world of real estate, having them give me advice, but also having them direct me towards people who can answer my questions, I think is something I value because there's a lot I don't know. And there's a lot of people I don't know who I know have the information, but I trust my friends and their guidance. So it's just nice to know that people are looking out for you and that there's always a resource out there to answer questions for if you need it. So that's something I'm grateful for. Um, but one thing I wanted to talk about is a quote I came by recently, and it goes, big wins tend to be accompanied by a combination of big decisions, more uncertainty, and greater risk. If you want to play at a higher level, you need to be comfortable with greater swings of highs and lows mentally and emotionally. Now, you can avoid these swings, but you might be forced to play at a lower level. So, to me, that says if you want to perform at a high level, if you want to reach these higher levels of success, there's going to be certain things that you have to deal with that you have to expect. Not every decision is going to work out for you. Uh, you're not always going to have a clear path based on your decision. You're going to experience failure. Things are going to happen. And that's where I think this idea of implementing a more of a growth mindset as opposed to a fixed mindset. And I think that really shows up with this sort of quote in terms of how somebody views specific challenges, right? When you get faced with a challenge, so a situation that you may potentially fail in, do you rise up in those moments? Do you embrace those moments that, hey, yeah, here's just an opportunity for me to learn and see what happens? Or do you avoid those situations because you don't want to risk looking a certain way? Uh, or even with something like adversity, like you have just failed. Do you view that as a not necessarily positive thing, but something you can grow from, something you can learn from? Or do you view it as you don't have what it takes, you're not good enough, that's it, and that's all? How do you view performing not great? How do you view a decision not working in your favor? Do you view it as, hey, this was a one-time thing, I can get better at it? Let me go search information on how to get better at this thing. Or do you view it as, hey, I'm just not good enough, why bother trying? So I think these key behavioral differences between a growth and fixed mindset is what's going to help you succeed in these moments. It's what's going to help you deal with the uncertainty. It's going to help you deal with the idea that there are going to be more risks involved with higher levels of achievement. So I think one thing to think about is when you're in these sort of situations, asking yourself, why do you want this? Asking yourself, what would it mean for you to achieve this big win, achieve this thing? Because I think that can provide you clarity, can provide you motivation to keep going. But you can also ask yourself, what will I gain from overcoming this challenge? So, kind of along the same lines, but I think really accepting that the fact that this might not be easy and win or lose, what's going to happen if I at least face this challenge head on? Again, can provide the required motivation, can maybe enhance your confidence a little bit to handle that challenging situation, ultimately keep you going forward. But then I think it's also about leveraging your current set of skills, your current strengths, as opposed to honing in on your weaknesses. I think when we get into these moments where, you know, this decision I make is going to lead to a success or lead to a failure, the tendency may be to focus on, well, here's all the reasons why I might fail. Here's the things that I don't possess. They're going to cause me to not achieve what I want. I think that's your mind's way of kind of protecting your ego. It's a defense mechanism. And maybe that leads to me not putting as much effort in, or maybe I do fail and I'm able to justify it by saying, you know what, I knew it all along. So I think one thing to think about in these moments is instead identify what are those things that you currently possess that can help you propel through. What are these things that I possess that can help me achieve what I want to achieve, that can help me handle this adversity, that can help me overcome this challenge? And I think once you start to do that, it might be easier to head into the uncertainty. It might be easier to make the combination of big decisions. It might be easier to take those greater risks to achieve what it is you want to achieve. Now, that doesn't mean you're always going to be successful, but it at least puts you in a position to maximize your talent, maximize your performance, maximize your skill set. Now, if achieving what we want to achieve, if achieving these big wins, these big goals, if they were easy, well, then everybody would do it and we wouldn't be having this conversation. So I think when it comes to the things we want to achieve in life, you have to be willing to fail. You have to be willing to accept that you might not reach this goal in order for you to succeed. But in those moments, it's identifying, why do I want this? What's going to happen if I overcome it? And then what skills and strengths do I currently possess that can help me overcome this situation and reach the potential outcome I want? And that's all I got for you all today, right? Success ain't easy, but I think we can put ourselves in a better position to achieve what we want, but maybe even a better position to bounce back if we don't achieve the results that we want. So thank you all for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, rate, share, review the podcast at whatever site you listen to. Follow the Instagram page at Velez Mental Performance. I'm also on TikTok, but have a good rest of your day. Have a good rest of your week if I don't hear from you. And don't forget, today's a great day to make an impact on someone's life. All right, y'all. Have a good one.